Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture places emphasis on fundamental human rights and freedoms as enshrined in Chapter 3 of the Namibian Constitution, specifically Article 15 on children's rights and Article 20 on education. However, over the years, the ministry and stakeholders experienced challenges in their quest to ensure that children remain in school and complete their primary education. This is due to various social and economic challenges which negatively impact the efforts to improve lives and contribute to socio-economic development. As part of efforts to remedy these challenges, the Directorate of Education in Hardap region, together with the Ministry of Health, Gender, Home Affairs and other decentralized functions, embarked on a regional campaign in rural areas to encourage parents to enroll their children for the 2021 academic year.
Kinders wat in pre-primair is tot en met graad 7 of 16 jaar. So hierdie kind kan ook tot graad 10 wees. Wat ook al eerste kom. Mag die kind nie die skool verlaat nie. Is ons saam?
After the recent official launch of the 2021 school admission campaign by the Governor of Hardap region, Reverend Solomon April, a team from the Directorate of Education and other government regional stakeholders visited the 3 education circuits in the region to ensure that children are back in school and to share information on how children can acquire identification documents to enable them to enroll for the 2021 academic year.
Due to the disruption caused by COVID-19, I would like to request parents and schools to allow a grace period up to the 30th of October 2020 to submit application forms in Hardap region at the respective schools. I would like to accentuate and call upon the inhabitants of Hardap region to work together, to unite and cooperate to ensure that all children of school-going age between 6 and 16 years are registered and returned to school in coming academic years.
The Governor also urged traditional authorities, church leaders, local councillors and line ministries to play their part by assisting the Directorate of Education to register all children who are currently out of school to ensure that they go back to school and that they are admitted in 2021. After the lifting of the state of emergency due to COVID-19, all learners were expected to be back at their respective schools, but some parents still opted to keep their children at home due to the fear of COVID-19. In response to this fear, the Directorate of Education assured the parents that they have put COVID-19 preventative measures in place to curb the spread on school premises.
Whatever happened with COVID, we are prepared as government. You can see Ministry of Health is here, Office of the President is here. If anything happened to kids while they are in the hostel, we take responsibility.
So
However, some parents in remote areas had no choice but to keep their children home due to the remoteness and a lack of income to pay hostel fees, let alone transport fees to school. Other challenges which hindered access to education and other government services were also observed during the school admission campaign, such as limited access to information, illiteracy, ill health, and child labor. A plan of action to accelerate learner registration and increase school admission was undertaken by the stakeholders, such as immediate registration by Home Affairs for children who do not have identification documents and vulnerable out-of-school children that qualify for a $250 Namibian grant were also recorded by the Ministry of Gender and Child Welfare.
So we want the whole region in January to have all the kids in school. But we must register them now before end of October, like the governor said, so that we know how many kids, how many teachers are needed, how many books, number of hostels needed, number of mattresses. But if you come in January, it will be too late for us, and the kids will have no space. But tell us now, come and give the name in, so we know we are expecting this number of learners coming.
Health education for parents and learners is equally vital, as it ensures that learners and adolescents' learning process is not interrupted due to ill health. Hence, a team of health experts also shared relevant health information with communities in rural areas and informal settlements in the Hardap region. With the current challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, the health workers emphasized the need for parents to assist teachers by taking responsibility in ensuring that learners are informed. Speaking during the 2021 admission campaign in Rehoboth Informal Settlement, the Director of Health in Hardap, Yvonne Stefanis, cautioned the communities to continue protecting themselves despite the recent decline in COVID-19 positive cases.
Onze hygiëne is baie belangrik. So corona kom sê weer vir ons net een ding. Jou persoonlike hygiëne moet tops wees. En daarom kan jy vir jou sodoende kan jy vir jouself beskerm. Ons wil nie hê die kind moet net by enige gang inloop nie. Of die groot mense as jy groeperig is nie. Wat ons wil hê is jy bel vir ons, jy sê okay, SMS op daai selnommer en sê bel tot vir my terug ek het hierdie simptome. Wat moet ek maak? Dan bel ons vir jou terug en dan sê ons vir jou okay, kom waar en dan kanaliseer ons vir jou. Laat ons toesien dat ons nie die ander mense ook blootstel nie.
The information sessions also centered on nutrition, reproductive health, HIV prevention, TB treatment, maternal and child care, as well as to urge parents to ensure that their children's health passports and vaccines are up to date and to prevent tetanus infection in adolescent girls.
Dat die hele geskiedenis neergeskryf is en gesê is hy goed gekry dan is hy beskerm teen tetanus. Dan begin kry hy nie weer tetanus feite nie, né? Maar as daar nie rekord is nie, soos daai mense kindjie wat nou daar, daai kaartjie wat jy daar het. As daai kind nou 15 jaar is, dan sal sy weer begin met tetanus. Want daar is nie rekord dat sy hierdie ander vorige immunisering gekry het. So sien julle hoe belangrik is dit dat ons hierdie paspoort soos goud moet oppas. Onthou as iemand swanger is en het hy tetanus gekry, dan beskerm hy ook sy baba teen daai siekte.
Ons ken nog dat mense wat by die plase kram, wat ons nie eintlik wil so hê. Daarom sê ons die mense moet by die hospitaal gaan na hulle voor die met die verpleegster of met verpleegster se help kram. En soms gebeur dit dat sy by die huis kram en dan is daar nog nie die skeer wat 'n mens gebruik nie. Nee, wat nie steriel is nie. En dan die kiem kan na die kind toe gaan. Dis waarom ons al voorberei laat sy die tetanus sal kry. In geval as daar so iets gebeur, dan is die kind gebeskerm.
So kom ons sorg, mense, dit is belangrik. Want daar is siektes waarteen ons hierdie kinders vaksineer. Dis soos measles, Duitse measles, magwerk. Al wat die siekte is, dis teen hierdie goed. So hierdie skedule, soos die kliniek vir jou sê, kom terug met hierdie kind. En dan doen ons ook die meeste kinders van 15 jaar af, want ons sê dis women of reproductive age, dis hierdie vrouens wat moes voorkant doen die nasie moet dra. So ons gee vir hulle ook spuite by die skool.
Many women continue to suffer the burden of caring for their children with limited resources, and this domestic situation has a negative impact on school-going children. Hence, the 2021 admission campaign in Hardap region is shining a ray of hope for many of these children. Francina Swatboy has 2 children who are currently out of school because she cannot afford school fees. The situation is worsened by the fact that their father is also unemployed, leaving their mother with no other means of financial support, let alone money to transport her children from Farm Haribus to a boarding school in Marintal, which is about 60 kilometers away.
Dat ek my kinders so moet gaan uitgeskryf het, terwyl my kinders gewillig is om skool te gaan. En dis enigste 2 kinders wat ek het, wat besig is om te leer. En ek is baie diep teleurgestel. Maar ek het niemand om vir my by te staan. My man probeer om werk te kry, maar dis net hierdie kant. Ek is baie diep teleurgestel dat ek my kinders se leerband verbind het.
By die hostel, ons moet ons eers betaal en hostel toe teruggaan. Daar is nie geld om hostel te betaal nie.
Many mothers in remote areas are forced to keep their children at home, despite a government directive that all learners should return to school after the lifting of the state of emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Worsening Francina's family situation is that she does not have money to pay for the 2021 academic year. However, she is grateful to the Directorate of Education and Line Ministries for launching the 2021 admission campaign, which is assisting the farming communities to acquire necessary documents to enable them to enroll their children in school.
En dan ook om die kindertjies by die skool te kry. So die hele ding gaan om elke kind van education se kant af, onderwys, om die kindertjies by die skool te kry. Tussen die ouers is byvoorbeeld, kom ek sê, farm work, plaaswerkers, of hulle is byvoorbeeld hier op hulle eie met 'n bietjie livestock wat hulle het, diere, dat hulle uit kan gaan skool gaan studeer en vir hulle 'n beter toekoms kan bou. Sodat hierdie hele ding van dieselfde ding, my pa het dit gedoen, my ma het dit gedoen, ek doen ook maar dieselfde.
The challenge that we have basically also in the farms is poverty. We find that because the areas are so remote, the distance of traveling is far, and there's not always money to buy the necessity, like food, for example. So that is really a challenge that the parents in the remote areas have.
When a child will become 6 years old next year, 2021, we want to see those children at the school. And if you perhaps experience any problem in the one-off circuit of getting your child to be admitted to a school, the circuit office is there. So please come up for your children, come up for our nation, and make sure that our children are registered, and our office is there to make sure that your child gets a school.
Generational poverty. Just poverty after poverty in that cycle. That we want to break it. Yeah, when they are in schools, it's the only way as a country that will make sure that these kids are developing and are brought up in a way that they are able to live on their own later on.
Parents equally see the admission campaign initiative in Hardap as a ray of hope for their children to be admitted in school and an opportunity for disadvantaged children to be educated in order to have a better future.
Ek wil juffrou raak en vir die kinders leer